Hunted and alone, a boy finds himself drawn into the center of a dark project. This is all the information we're given as we're thrust into the world of Inside. Set within a dark and gloomy world where anything and everything wants to kill us, we're tasked with exploring this massive facility to find out just what the hell is going on. Along the way, we'll be stopped by all sorts of obstacles and enemies, all ready to kill us again, and again, and again. And inside, you'll be dying a lot, and it's probably a good idea to go into the game with that sort of mindset. In knowing that you're almost expected to die at every turn, it takes a good bit of frustration away at just the sheer number of deaths. Although, unlike its predecessor, you won't be dying nearly as much, thankfully. Just a couple dozen. But before we get too far, hello. I'm Alexaria and welcome to Clearing the Library, a series where we venture through our Steam library in an attempt to clear out the games we've bought but have never finished. Steam users have collectively bought nearly $19 billion worth of games that they've never played, and I am no exception. Thus, we've made it our mission to rectify that and hopefully one day clear our library. Today's endeavor is another game from Danish studio Playdead called Inside, originally put on Steam on July 7th of 2016. After finishing Limbo and seeing that this was 90% off, I just had to try it out. Similar to Limbo, in Inside we play as a little guy as he explores this dark, surreal world around himself. Once again, any story we're given is purely found upon the store page, as the game itself doesn't offer any text or dialogue to speak of. Hunted and alone, a boy finds himself drawn into the center of a dark project. Some sort of organization is going about abducting individuals and corralling them all together to seemingly test some sort of mind control technology. Those worms from Limbo make another appearance, though they aren't explicitly seen on people this time around. Just some piggies. Using some aspect of these worms, they've gone about creating these strange helmets, allowing temporary control of other individuals. It's creepy. Whatever this all is, it's got to be stopped. Mechanically speaking, it's nearly identical to Limbo. Buttons to move and another to interact. The big difference this time around is that we're given more things to do with said interaction. We're able to gain control of others, climb into a little submarine and drive around, hop a little fence to avoid some doggies, and swim. We can actually swim now instead of drowning immediately. You honestly love to see it. Within Inside, you'll find yourself completing a series of puzzles, each compounding upon the last as you find your way deeper into what's going on here. In terms of audio, we're once again met with mostly atmospheric tones, and I absolutely love it. It all just comes together to really set the tone of various areas so well. Especially when it kicks in after you figure out the solution to many of the puzzles throughout. Once again, the sound design is absolutely on point, and these dog barks are forever going to haunt my dreams. Beginning once more within a dark, moody forest, we trudge ourselves onwards, soon coming across a large semi absolutely packed with people. The hell is that about? Hiding behind a tree, we wait for the semi to leave before continuing onwards. Oh look, other people! With our social anxiety creeping in, we sit and wait for them to leave. Truly the scariest thing in the world. Social interaction. Spotting the same truck as before, we follow along with it in the forest to see where it's going. With that many people in the back, it's got to be for something important. Not something good, but important. To somebody. Hey yo, get your dog. Oh, it's okay, he don't bite. Yes, he do. Nearly escaping with our lives from a pit bull named Princess. It's not long before we're found out by the same individuals we've been hiding from thus far. Oh god, oh shit. Now I feel justified in not wanting to talk to y'all, jeez. Hiding this time, we're soon found again as we run for our McFucking life and... Okay, maybe we should have hid behind that. Oh god, more dogs, why? Whoever these guys are, they're now on the hunt for us, which really doesn't seem great at all. If we're found out, we're surely going to be the next one put into one of those semis. Thankfully, a farm is able to save us from that fate, though briefly. Only... Oh god, what happened to all these pigs? There's just... so many of them. Like, what the hell happened? Oh, hello there, chickies. Sorry, I can't play with you right now. We have bitches we need to run away from. Starting this generator, we were so close to getting it to work right from the get-go. Instead, we got to run around for a good 4 minutes before figuring out we need to shoot our new chickie friends up at the hay. R.I.P. to chickie number 7. He'll forever be in our hearts. One leap of faith into some piggies later, and we use them to get up and over to continue onwards towards, whatever the hell is going on. If I was ever waist deep in mug like this, I'd actually cry. Oh god, this piggy's still alive and kicking. Just, be a good little piggy and, leave me the hell alone, please. Just, stop charging me and let me pull this, thing out of you. This is so fucking disgusting. Using this pig as a step stool, let's see what this thing is. That's new. Using our whatever this is, we're now able to manipulate those around us, getting them to work together to pave the way for us. Gaslight, gatekeep, girl boss. Now that we have no further need for them, we simply toss them aside and... Are they okay? Never mind. Clear of the farm, a giant wall now looms in the distance, towering over us and the line of individuals outside. A line? Oh, it's those guys from earlier. So this is where the semi went. Huh. As we work on our OSHA violation speedrun, oh god! As we jump through the floor, we're met with our first little Easter egg. These disco balls are the equivalent of the eggs in Limbo. They're hidden all throughout the game, and each one grants you an achievement. This is the first of many, and we'll gradually come across more. Another mind puzzle, and a short climb later, we're gradually getting to see what's going on with all those people. Following in the same direction as the line, our little guy makes his descent to ground level. Wherever they're going, we have to be getting close now. Oh, Christ, what are those things? One skill issue later, and we find out just why all these other individuals are laid out everywhere. They'd all been shocked by these lads and are still tethered to them. I honestly didn't even realize that on my first playthrough, but now it makes so much more sense why this lad jumped up a bit when they first got turned on. Escaping from the Amazon break room, Jesus, God, fuck. Oh god, I'm so sorry, whoops. It's now our turn to stand in this line, following along just as everyone else is. It's so creepy. There's no words, nobody telling them what to do, they just go. This is all just so wild. While we're queued up for the new WoW expansion, we get to see our old masked friends as well. And their dog. These lads really just need to chill out, like, oh my god. Absolutely horrible. Making our way to safety with a conveniently placed friend, we drop ourselves down into this pool to make our daring escape. Kinda cringe we had to do it twice, my guy. After more water shenanigans and... Oh my god, is that a train full of more people? We descend further into this massive structure. Who knows just how big this place is? Like, even just from what we've seen, this looks absolutely massive. Oh look, more dogs. Of everything we've faced so far, these honestly have to be the most anxiety-inducing. There's just something about the constant barking and knowing you're just one mistake away from getting absolutely destroyed. Like, they're not even all that difficult to get around, they're just... Anyways, after dog sitting, we do some more breaking and entering and find an even larger room. Honestly though, how is this all underground? Like, it's so easy to forget that we're underground and it's not just nighttime or something. wild. Since these two would rather talk about, I don't know, fucking sports or something, our little guy sneaks his way into his submarine? What would you call this thing? Anyways, it's now time to further cement our fear of deep water with... Oh my god, I hate this so much. Wide open underwater spaces creep me out so much. Like, who knows what could be hiding back there? Honestly, Subnautica is going to be great once we eventually get to that. And by great, I mean... terrible. Finding some light peeking through cracks in the side of this place, it's time to break our way in. Just what was this place? Obviously, they were using it for something at some point, but why is it all underwater? With much more questions than answers, we swim through this wall that I definitely didn't get stuck on for 4 minutes because I didn't realize you could leave the sub. We find a big red button that's just begging to be pressed. Oh. Running for our lives, we find... trees? Here? I know I've asked this at least 10 times by now, but just... what the hell is this place? Somehow missing the jump, we swing across to open the door so we can finally continue up. What the hell was that? Hey, you don't seem to be anywhere behind us, so I guess we'll just, forget that happened. Several watery puzzles later, and we're forced to remember that happened as we find just what that thing was. It's, another kid? And with really long hair, and they can just breathe underwater? Who knows, maybe they're friendly and they just want someone to play with. Oh god, they're not friendly. They're not friendly at all. Escaping our needy little brother, it's time to finally get out of our submersible and... how the hell are we still underground? This place is fucking massive. And you know we're still underground too, because you can see what I assume to be sunlight peeking in the background. Just, what the hell have we gotten ourselves into? What the hell is that noise in the distance? As we go to investigate the noise, we find a pressure plate that needs 20 individuals to activate. As it seems we only have a couple for now, it's time to go make some friends. God, the thing I'm the worst at. Why they gotta make the bug with social anxiety do this? On the plus side, we find another helmet, so we don't actually have to socially interact. Oh sick, we can just take this with us now. Now with the boys. We're able to reach heights we weren't able to before. Something, something, power, friendship, something, something, it's okay to ask for help, something, something. Oh shit. Damn, you guys can take a beating. With more lads in tow, it's time to make our way back to the elevator and go find some more. Hey, you got games on your phone? One incredibly awkward elevator ride later, and we find these guys just chilling in a minecart. Look at them over there just staying in their own lane, living their best life. Time to absolutely ruin their days. God, those physics just look so fucking funny to me. More elevators, and we find the last of our lads in a... we definitely just killed those guys. Whoops. Speaking of dead guys, we drag this one back to become our 20th friend. Nothing ever specified they have to be alive, after all. Oh god, we're gonna have to drag a lot of them back. This really doesn't... well, I guess they're fine. Shit. With our 20 friends finally gathered, it's time to continue on and finally find just what this mysterious noise is and... Jesus Christ. The hell could be making shockwaves this powerful? Not only that, but what the hell would they even need that for? There's been a severe lack of answers for this insane amount of questions. Like, it looks like one hit from this would just absolutely obliterate... Christ. Timing up this machine with these shockwaves, we're met with one of my favorite things that both this and Limbo have done with their sound design. When you finally figure out the puzzle, there's this nice sort of harmonic sound that plays over everything else. I can't even explain why I like it so much, it's just... feels nice. Until you fuck up during it. You didn't see anything, that didn't happen. Leaving this machine behind us, it's time to live out all of our elevator nightmares. As the shockwaves send us into freefall, we're forced to make a quick escape, finding momentary solace within this new space. Surely things can't get worse than that, right? Like, surely an elevator breaking free from its cores and rails is the worst it can get, right? Right? Oh god, they're back. Just, don't mind me, buddy. I'm just gonna sneak right by and oh god, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up! Now, if y'all thought the dogs were anxiety-inducing, you're about to have a great time with, whatever hell this is. They swim much faster than you, and there's this sound that just keeps getting louder and louder the closer they get, dragging you down into the water. It's horrible. As we narrowly make our escape, we find ourselves in yet another giant room. At least it seems like we're getting closer to the surface again. I mean, like, there's sunlight in there, so surely things can only get better. I honestly don't know if I could take another water area with those. Oh, god damn it. Nearly making our escape once more, it's finally time to leave this place behind. Climbing up this chain, it's time to... somehow alive and able to breathe water? It seems our adventure isn't quite done yet. The world still has work for us, and we need to see to it that it gets done. Swimming onwards, we find several viewing areas. Were they keeping people in here? I mean, it's been clear that they've been experimenting on people, but this is just weird. Heading deeper into the machine, we fight against the currents trying to push us back and away from the truths that lie beyond. Are those body parts? Once more, we're only gaining more and more questions without finding really any answers at all. Everything about the inside of this place has been absolutely surreal and, well, crazy, yet we still haven't seen anything yet. Pushing further still, we're met with one of the most surreal places this game has had to offer. Not only are these individuals floating above these machines, but they're suspended in water that's also suspended in the air above us. Just, what's this all for? Surely this serves some greater purpose, but it's so strange. Below, we're met with what might very well be my favorite part of the game. It's so short and dumb, but I love how fast and violent it is. Like, the room is just dead silent and suddenly... I just love it so much. In using these cubes to push us into the air, we're able to get our little guy up into the water. From there, we just have to get this big contraption open. While most of the previous areas have felt like long abandoned facilities, these are all starting to look a lot newer. As if they're actually in use now, though I guess that could be pretty obvious with the people in the previous room. I guess that just means we're getting closer to what's going on. Oh god, is that dude's kid? It's like the most fucked up bring your child to work day. Father of the year right there. One water puzzle later and we're met with another one of these rooms with a ton of floating individuals. However, this time, we're able to save them from whatever this hell is. Maybe save was a strong word. Jesus Christ. Somehow these guys were able to survive that. At least, most of them were. Yet, as we run around, we get a better glimpse at them all and see that they're all incredibly deformed. Some have arms that are longer than they should be, heads that are oddly shaped. if they even have them. Shout out to this guy in particular. What a trooper. It's just disturbing to really take a second to look at them. Yet somehow, this is tame compared to what lies ahead. With their help, we're able to make it further into this facility. In the background, we can see several other individuals all running in the same direction as us. Along the way, several more of these viewing rooms with more of these deformed individuals inside. And at the end of it all, everyone's gathered to look into one space in particular. We try to get a glimpse as well, but can't quite make anything out. Strangely enough, these guys don't really seem to care that we're here. Whatever's going on in there must be important. We've got to find out what it is. Climbing up and around, we find more of these individuals gathered around, mesmerized by whatever is contained below. Descending on the other side, we work our way to the bottom, hoping to find an entrance down below that can take us to see just what has everybody so amazed. As we remove one barrier, and then another, we open the way inside. All that's left is to find a way to shoot us up in there, and with this turbine just below us, we find just that. Oh God. Whatever the hell this mass of bodies is, we've got to free it. We've got to get it out of here and... Sucked up by this amalgamation of bodies, the boy joins this writhing mass of flesh. One has now become many, and we must escape, no matter the cost. Seeking escape, we tear our way through doors, destroying anything that stands in our way. What would have once killed us is only a minor hindrance now, as we plummet down the elevator shaft, destroying several floors along the way, while many run for their lives in fear. Others simply watch on from above, like they're still watching this experiment unfold. Pressing onwards. It's like we're being led on to certain spots. Doors open up for us as various workers seem to be guiding our movements. No matter if it ultimately gets us out, then who cares how we get there? Playing hot potato with ourselves, we open a way forwards, bringing us one step closer to freedom. Probably. Thanks to some kind workers helping us out again, we use one of these boxes from before to progress, finding our way into another dark room that seems to have hundreds of individuals inside. All of them watching as we reach for this box that's just out of reach. It's so eerie. They know how dangerous we are, and yet they're still all just watching. They believe that they trap us in yet another underwater cage. But we're quickly able to break free. Desperately swimming towards the light to escape this hell. We're so close to escaping now. I can nearly taste it. And that was Inside. A rather interesting end to an all-around interesting game. While there's still many questions that still need to be answered, the vagueness of it all allows a ton of room for speculation. A lot of it, honestly, just goes right over my head, I feel. But it's interesting to try and piece some sort of meaning together with everything that's scattered about throughout the game. Like, what the purpose of this whole facility is, what this amalgamation of people is, and what it's all ultimately for. They're all questions that could have a multitude of answers. But I'm definitely not the person to do a deep dive on this sort of thing. Now, with the base game finished, all that's left are the achievements. Inside's achievements are fairly straightforward. All 14 of them are tied to various orbs that can be found throughout the game. I'd only found 2 on my initial run, so that only left a whole, 12 to still find. Fun. Unlike Limbo, I wanted to try and find them all for myself instead of using a guide, and honestly, I'm very glad that I did that. It added this whole new exploration factor to the game. While it was there in my original run, now we had a bit more context to everything and could really absorb more of what was going on around us. Though, admittedly, I still have absolutely no idea what's happening in here. In terms of the orbs, though, a fun thing I found out pretty quickly was that they all had these yellow cords leading up to them, giving you a kind of nice indication for where they were. Going chronologically, the first of the orbs can be found right after you're forced to jump into the water by 3 dogs at the start. Instead of going forwards, turn around, and there's a little area back here that has the orb. The second is along the way to the farm. Inside the cornfield, there will be a hatch that you can pull up leading down into a bunker. I honestly found this by complete accident, as I was running around while just holding down the interact button. Inside this bunker, the orb will be straight to the left, inside this room with pictures of this big mass of flesh and whatnot. To the right, there's a bunker that we can't quite get into yet, but we'll be back for this. Next up, after you hop down to the cart full of pigs, push it to the left instead and tear the planks from the wall. Slipping inside, you'll be met with the third orb. The fourth orb is the first one I'd found after dropping the safe through the floor. Just pop into the little space on the left to grab it. Number 5 is just beyond the large lettered sign on top of the buildings. When you drop down to the pipe, jump back across and descend the ladder to find it lying at the bottom. The 6th is a good bit later in the game. While in the sub and right after you get your first brief look at the swimmy boys, break through this first door and head straight down. You can ram into this box, get down beneath it, and head into another area. In here, there's a brief mind puzzle involving 2 lads. Launching one up with the submarine, you're able to attach him to the second helmet and make him have the other guy open the orb for you. The 7th will come right after you escape your first swimmy boy. After reaching the surface, just slam into the wall here a couple times and create a way to climb upwards. From there, it's just sitting right in front of you. The next will come up when you start collecting the boys. After you free these lads from the capsule, bring them all back to tear away the boards you just climbed up. And going down into here, you'll enter a large space with a torch on the wall. Be sure to grab it or you'll get absolutely destroyed by some dogs. In using the torch, you can keep the dogs back long enough to open up this orb, causing them all to run off. Number 9 will come up right after this big room. After pulling the swimmy boy all the way to the right, go back to the left and swim your way over behind him. Back here, there's a little space that holds our Orby. Our 10th will come right after we can breathe underwater, and was actually the only other one I'd found on my first playthrough of the game. Instead of swimming into the vent, keep going down to open up this hatch on the left. In going inside, all you have to do is run to the back and nab it. Number 11 comes up almost immediately afterwards. When rotating this platform, leave it pointed straight up into the air and head back. Jumping into the water, you're able to swim down underneath where you just were, and the orb will be sitting on a little platform just above the water. Number 12 will be within the first room with all the floating people. Instead of stacking the 2 boxes to get up, pull the one all the way to the right side of the room. The Orby will just be up above. The 13th will be at the elevator after you save everybody from the second floaty room. After you get them all to a point where they can enter the elevator with you, only let a couple on and let the rest get pushed up on top. Once on top of the elevator, you can ride it back up and go to the office on the right with your little group. Let them throw you up onto the cord here and climb it to the top. Up there, you can drop down to all your other friends that were on top of the elevator. They'll be needed to help throw you up to the last orb along the ceiling. Now with all the other orbs collected, we have one final orb to get to. Similar to the secret level in Limbo, this one can only be obtained after unlocking the previous 13. After the room with all the lads looking down to the mass of flesh, you can climb up the ladder instead of descending it to lead you to a room with a much bigger orb. All you have to do is run in and pull the plug on this one, just like all the others. Though, wait. Why's that one still lit up? That's the second light, so it's time to go back to the farm. Back within the bunker. The light is now lit up and the lever plays various tones when you push it into various directions. But wait, I've heard these tones before. They were played at the last few orbs. Going back to listen to the tones, we return to the bunker to mimic these and open the door, leading us into this bunker. Inside, there's several more of these orbs, and along the back wall, there's one of these helmets, though this one seems to be plugged into all those yellow wires leading to the various orbs. In the very back, we find a plug in the wall and pull it free, shutting down everything around us. And with that, Inside is officially finished. A little bit of a secret ending at the end there, with some speculating it could be a bit of a fourth wall break with the boy breaking free of those controlling him. It's interesting. Overall, Inside was a fun experience, and I'd definitely recommend both this and Limbo for anyone interested for whenever they go on sale. When I'd first nabbed Inside, both games were 90% off, making them maybe only like $4 each, which is definitely worth it. They both have such an interesting aesthetic about them. While dark and moody, it's very easy to just sort of lose yourself in them for a couple hours. As long as you don't attempt the same jump over and over for 6 minutes. But, with Inside finished, that knocks another game off from our list, meaning it's time for us to once again find another. Just as I'm in the process of clearing my library, I'd like to extend the challenge out to you as well, to dust off the shelves and see what treasures lie within. Who knows? You might find something amazing. Until next time, take care. Hey yo, get your dog!
Oh, hey, you got games on your phone?
No, that's stupid.
Huh?
And with that, we don't need to record this anymore. Cool. We don't need our flashlight draining our battery. Fucking shit, dude. Oh my god. And we are good to just keep going. Yay! Back to the top.